Hey guys, in this video I got my buddy Sean. We're going to talk a little bit about how we both decided to make the move from Dumaguete to CEBU, and then we both decided to move from CEBU back to Dumaguete. So why did we ultimately choose CEBU? Stick around. Alright, so Sean, thanks for coming on again. We are currently experiencing a 12-hour brownout, so we are here at the lovely atmosphere.
It's a blackout, man. There's no power.
There's no power. Blackout. Or I guess I was told it was blackout was at night and brownout during the day, but I don't know.
Okay, that's Filipino speak,
Whatever.
man, for the power's out.
Anyway, when life hands you lemonades, you turn it into lemonade, and that's what we did.
You make mojitos.
Mojitos. Cheers. We're at Atmosphere Resorts, and if you watch to the end, I will show you clips of the beautiful resort. If you're in the Dumaguete area, beautiful place, great food too. Great food.
Man, yeah, the brisket cheeseburger was
amazing. Yeah. So anyway, so I can say for myself, I had initially moved from Dumaguete mainly because the lockdown made me so restless, and I just felt like I needed a change. It was almost like I need to get out. I was like kind of almost like frustrated with the whole lockdown, and it just. What about you? What was the?
Yeah, pretty much the same. But since we both went to Mactan Island, Lapu, Mactan Newtown, it's a different area I hadn't been to before, so it was a different experience also.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that the whole lockdown was frustrating, but what were some things that you actually liked about Cebu City better than you did Dumaguete? Let's start off with that.
Taxi cabs.
Taxi cabs.
They've got taxis there, and they don't have them here. They got 3,000 tricycles running around here that just bottleneck traffic, and that gets frustrating when you're driving a vehicle. These guys, they're going down the road, but instead of being in their lane, they're straddling both lanes in the middle.
Yeah, and they don't look. They just kind of pull out into traffic, and they just expect everybody to yield to them.
I've had them flip a Yui right in front of you, and it's like, if you're not paying attention, man, you'll wind up hurting some people.
So that is a big thing right there, is like Grab taxis and stuff in Cebu.
It was so convenient, man. You get on the Grab app, and it automatically shows them where you are, and then you put in where you want to go to.
Right.
And it tells you the price before you even get in the cab as to what it's going to cost you to go there.
So it doesn't matter whether you're stuck in traffic or they take the long route or whatever, the price is the price. And here they just have the tricycles and jeepneys. The jeepneys are way too hot. So are the tricycles. And they're not made for us foreigners. We're like literally like crouching down, you know.
No, I feel like Shrek when I get into one of those trikes, and your knees are up in your chest.
And Cebu City now has what they call the My Bus, which air-conditioned buses. They're slowly taking over the jeepneys.
Well, they've actually outlawed the old jeepneys now. They have to be out of service, I think, by June 30th of this year, unless they join a cooperative, which is, I guess, an organization, a group of a bunch of people that have the new and old jeepneys. Then they can still operate them for, I think, another 6 months, but after that, you'll never see one of the old jeepneys again on the road.
So transportation, for me, second was just the availability of things. Like with all the malls, you could get a lot more things. Like for example, I could go get king crab legs if I wanted in Cebu. Not available here, but I'm just giving an example. But there's a lot more things available for you.
True, and the malls are huge compared to what we have here.
Yes, we just have one mid-size mall, I would call it.
Yeah, they've got. I mean, Ayala Center is huge, and then you got SMC side, which is huge too. I don't even know how many malls. At least 10 or 12 malls just in Cebu City alone. So,
we exactly. So, number 3, I suppose, if you are a single guy, the dating would be much, much better in Cebu City.
You got over 1 million people that live there, so you're going to have obviously more single women.
You won't have all the chica, all the gossip, because you're a little more unknown. Dumaguete will be very much. Any other positives for Cebu City that you would? More availability of condos for rental.
They've got one condo here, and it absolutely sucks.
Garbage, yeah. I would say I would agree with that.
What is it, like 26 square meters for a 2-bedroom?
Very small.
I mean, it's a shoebox.
Yeah, and I had like 42 square meters in Mocktown, Newtown, and I was paying like $20,000. And here, it's just much smaller. So more availability of housing, I would say. Here in Dumaguete, there's a lot of housing, but it's usually, a lot of it is older Filipino-style homes and stuff. A lot of places that expats may not really want to live.
And they haven't updated it. I mean, they're going after the market. They're pricing it.
Right. Pricing it higher for
because a foreigner's not going to pay that price. I mean, you've got the louvered windows, but they've got air conditioning inside the place. Not realizing you're running your air conditioning, but all your AC is going out the louvered windows because it's not sealed.
Yeah, that was my first place actually here.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Louvered windows, no screens. No, there were screens, but but air conditioning just went right out. Any other pluses for Cebu City that you would say?
I guess the sheer number of restaurants that they do have.
Yeah,
I mean, you can go from one extreme to the other.
True.
Street food all the way up to a 5-star buffet.
Right.
I mean, Marco Polo has on the weekend. What a buffet they have there. But I mean, it's 1,500 pesos. It's $30 US.
Right.
So, but yeah, I can't. They had rack of lamb there and brisket and anything you could think of. They had a chocolate fountain.
Was that at Vikings?
No, it was at Marco Polo, the hotel.
And they have a lot of that Radisson Blue, Vikings buffet. Downside of Cebu for me, number 1 is the traffic does get insane.
Yeah, you really
insane.
We both rode motorbikes when we were there, but Mocktown, Newtown is a little bit different than going into the city. Once I moved from Mocktown, Newtown to Cebu City IT Park, I hardly ever rode my bike.
Right.
It's just so dangerous.
It is.
And cabs are so cheap anyway to get from one place to the other. It just
I guess it's harder if you're a foreigner and maybe you want to meet other expat friends. I think it's much easier in Dumaguete.
It seems like you've got more older foreigners that live in Cebu and Mocktown area, older than we are.
In Cebu?
Yeah.
Dumaguete has older too, but they also have some younger, I suppose, because a lot of people are heading out they come here as a stopping point to go to Sikyor and Bohol and stuff too. So I like that it is smaller here, and it seems to be, I don't know if I would say more friendly, because I think Cebu is just as friendly with the people.
Oh yeah, the people are just as friendly, I would think.
What are some things you like better about Dumaguete?
Well, the traffic, number 1. Even though the trikes are...
That just clogs up the...
Yeah, if they would just move over.
Right.
Because everybody uses the emergency lane for lane of traffic anyway. Just get over in that lane and let the bigger, faster traffic go past you. Mm-hmm. And everything would flow. Number one, they don't have any traffic lights here or stop signs.
No.
Anywhere.
No.
You go 2 hours up the road to Baiwan, and they've got nice, smooth roads, stop signs, and traffic lights.
Yeah.
And when we were up there a month ago, it was so refreshing. You pull up to a stoplight, it's red, and you wait, and nobody's running the light.
And
they're waiting for it to turn green for them to go.
And their traffic is way less than Dumaguete.
Yeah. Here it's like, do you have enough balls to put your car out there and see if anybody hits it so you can make a turn or go across the intersection?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I mean, when you're on a motorbike, you use the car in front of you. You get behind it for it to be a blocker for you to make the turn, because you don't want to put yourself out there as a motorbike rider and get run over by a truck or a vehicle.
No, for sure. So, Dumaguete does have a bunch of good restaurants. You just have to kind of find them. And then once you find them, you really got a good list of good places to eat here. You really do.
And it seems like there's more opening up all the time.
Yes, I agree.
So, I mean, now that everything started to settle down, you're seeing
things are opening back up.
You're seeing more places open up.
Yeah.
You still got a lot of shuttered buildings. Robinson's Mall, going in the backside there.
Yeah.
I remember the 4 restaurants that used to be right there as you were going in. They're still closed. And then that outbuilding that's next to the Gateway dealership, all those stores used to have something in them. They're all closed too still.
Right.
So slowly but surely, I think things will come back, but I think we're still probably a year out before anybody with inflation the way it is, nobody wants to invest in a business right now, and I don't blame them. You don't know which way it's going to go.
Right. So, what was you were living in Cebu City, and you were paying much more. You were paying what, $45K?
40. I was paying $40K for the 2-bedroom I had, plus $5K parking.
Okay. And
then electricity and water on top of that. So yeah, I was paying like $50K a month.
$50K with all your utilities, rent, and parking. And here you pay $30. Includes the parking.
Yeah, and for a 2-bedroom that's twice as big as what I had.
Yeah.
in Cebu.
Right.
So, and it's 100 meters from the beach.
Yeah.
I'll walk out my door, and 3 minutes later, I can be on the water if I want to.
Yeah, that's a good feature. Here, the thing I like about Dumaguete is you got a choice of, you could be up in Valencia in the cooler mountainous area, or in Bacong or Zamboanguita, which is the more of a beach area on the water, or you can be in the action where right in Dumaguete City proper, Dumaguete proper. So you really got 3 options, and Cebu, you don't really quite have that as much. You don't really have the mountainous area, not really.
Well, you'd have to drive an hour to get to a mountainous area in Cebu.
Right.
So I mean, do you want to drive an hour to get to the so-called action in Cebu every time you want to go out?
Right. Now, I suppose if you're a single guy and you don't have transportation and you want to date and you like having a lot more amenities and shopping and stuff, then Cebu City is definitely much better for you.
Yeah, and guys, if you've never ridden a motorcycle before, you want to come out here, go take a motorcycle course at a dealership somewhere. Have them teach you how to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Take the test, get the endorsement on your license.
Don't learn in Cebu City.
Because there's some places here that if you don't have the motorcycle endorsement, they won't rent you a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Because they found out the hard way that these expats, they come over here and they never ridden a motorcycle before, and they wind up, number one, killing the bike or killing themselves.
Now, the places that are more relaxed and that will let you rent are places like Sikihor and Bohol. And if you want to learn how to drive a motorcycle, you want to go to one of these smaller islands with much less traffic. Don't learn in Cebu City, or even Dumaguete is a little,
No, I would not recommend learning to ride a motorbike in Cebu City.
Even Dumaguete is a little rough sometimes, unless you're in the outskirts.
Well, you get your times. Between like 7 and 8 in the morning, everybody's going to work.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Between 11 and 1, everybody's getting off for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime after 4 p.m. till like 6:30 is a nightmare.
Yeah.
the in-between times is the time you want to go out and do things.
So would you say a fair assessment for Dumaguete, if you're more settled down, you have a girl and maybe you kind of want to settle more in a little bit of a slower pace of life in a smaller city, Dumaguete is probably more for you? That's how it feels like for me anyway.
Most definitely. I mean,
I wouldn't be as a single guy. I think Dumaguete is probably one of the worst places to be.
Well,
not that you can't meet a girl. I did, but you know,
if you're a single guy, you're going to notice the difference between being in CEBU or MacTown, Newtown. You know, hell, we'd be sitting out having coffee, and we get the double, triple, quadruple takes of girls turning around, looking at us, and giggling at each other.
Call center girls.
Here, they see so many foreigners in Dumaguete. Okay, another foreign guy.
Yeah.
Another white guy. Another black guy. I mean, I've seen them all. You know.
Yeah. It's not. We're not.
We're not new here. We're not new here.
No.
So.
So yeah. All right. Well, guys, make sure you keep watching. I'm going to show you the resort that we spent our day at while we had the brownout. And also make sure you check out my website where you can order my Geo Essentials, which I recommend if you are moving or traveling to the Philippines. You can also book a consultation.
Yes.
Let's take it real slow.